Hello everyone and welcome to my Super Mario 64DS tutorial series. In this video I will be going over the basic movement needed to speedrun this game, as well as a few cool tricks like the slope climb and egg combo. Without further ado, let's begin. I guess I don't have an intro. That kinda sucks. Well, let's go anyway. So, first off, you have your movement. You have your circle pad, your D-pad, and your touch screen. Now, as a beginner, circle pad is probably the most comfortable if you have that option. If not, you're going to want to go with the D-pad, which I personally use the D-pad for tricks, like 8-star door skip, or camera lines, or rabbit clip. Actually, no, not rabbit clips. I use circle pad for rabbit clips. So I usually use circle pad for basic movement. Touchscreen isn't really a good idea for movement, no matter what piano says. If you're tassing, doing tool-assisted speedruns, then touchscreen can be a good idea, but in general, it's just not. So, next up, there are buttons on the bottom of the screen for centering the camera. You will use these at some points in certain runs. I know in any percent when doing 8-star door skip, depending on how long you held down right when setting it up, depends whether you have to press right, left, or whatever. But in general, if you just need a better camera angle every once in a while, you should get comfortable moving the camera left and right. So in this game, the camera pans opposite to which button you press. If you press the left, it goes to the right. If you press the right, it goes to the left. And another way to get a camera angle is to press X twice. So if you press it once, it's wide view. If you press it twice, you zoom in and you can move the angle. So for example, in mirror clip, you want your camera angle facing just one frame above perfectly right. And so zooming in with X is good for that. Whenever you're centering the camera, so if your camera's all wonky and you just want to center the camera to go forward, double tapping can do that for you. Now, if you want to center the camera faster, the L button works in most case scenarios. Sometimes, like if you light it up against the wall, it won't work. That one, yeah. Like right here, it won't quite center the camera. If you press X twice, it will always center the camera, to my knowledge. Now, next up is dashing. So, if you just like walk, you don't go very fast. After a while, you pick up the pace. But in speedrunning, you definitely need to know how to hold that Y button and start zooming. So, that is definitely important. Now, if you hold Y, you start to Y dash. This can give you a bigger triple jump. This can give you a lot of speed that you can carry through, I think, through doors and different stuff like that. Now, the basic jump is just B. Now, depending what character you do, you can flutter, you can float, you can do a wall kick after it, or you can just flop on the ground if you're playing as Wario. Now, if you are a really cool player and press B after you land, you can double jump and then do whatever cool stuff you want to do, whether you want to flutter or float. Now, if you do this again, you can do a triple jump, which is used in a lot of scenarios to gain extra height and to set up some of the more complex wall kicks, like in TTC or mansion wall jumps. Now, if you do a triple jump as Yoshi, you cannot flutter after the third one. If you do it as Luigi, you cannot float after the third one. I believe. I'll test that later. But I highly doubt you can float after that third one. Now, there are a few things to maximize your triple jump height. If you Y dash before and give yourself just a little bit of running time. For example, if you just do a general triple jump versus if you give yourself a little bit of running time, you get a lot higher up, and then dashing can also get you that extra height. So the highest triple jump would be to Y charge, and then to give yourself a little bit of running distance before going. And this is used for tricks like Endless Staircase Skip and 50 Star. And usually you don't Y charge before a triple jump, but for that trick specifically, you do need enough height to wall jump off the tree. So after that, well, another thing you can do with triple jumping is if you hold back and then walk a little before triple jumping, you can triple jump backwards. Now, if you're like running in a direction and you try to triple jump, you will do a side flip, which we'll go over later. But if you are running in a direction and you try to go like perpendicular, you can somewhat change directions, but it's very hard to get good at like running and then trying to change an exact like degree angle amount. Now, the R button is used for crouching, and there's a lot of stuff you can do with crouching. First off, you can just press the A button and do some weird kick circle thing that is like completely useless in speedrunning. We don't do that at all. Now, the more important thing is if you run, press R, and then A, you will do a slide kick. And what's really special about slide kicks is if you do them on slopes, you can climb forever until the slope ends. So for many stars, if you're like in Womp's Fortress, B.O.B., a lot of other stages that use a slope climb, there are two different types that I use. There is the double tap A, and then there's the A to B. So the double tap A, you double tap A twice at a time, and then the A to B, you roll your finger from A to B. So I use different ones in different case scenarios. For example, I feel like on this slope in particular, to get blast away the wall, or to slope climb up and wall kick at the end to get up to the platform and try to make early cycle, I prefer the A to A. But on really steep slopes like in Yoshi Hundreds and Reds, you want to use the fast slope climb and just roll from A to B over and over again. So after that, there is a long jump. So if you run, press R, then B, you can long jump. And so this is used a lot, and so it's good to get good at long jumping. There are also a few things with long jumping you can do, like holding neutral right before you start long jumping, and that'll let you long jump faster. That's something you shouldn't really worry about until you're better at the game. And then the last thing you can do is a backflip. So if you're stationary and press B, you just do a backflip. So there's not much you can do with the backflip. You don't do a lot of backflipping in this game. Usually what you do is you go get something and then you hold in the opposite direction and do a side flip. It's like I did like accidentally earlier where I tried to do a 180 turn after a triple jump and did a side flip instead. Usually you hit something, do a side flip, and keep going. So those are used quite a bit. Now another thing you can do is, for example, with a character with a hat, is you can do a side flip and immediately dive to get a quicker direction change. Now, character specifics, Yoshi has his tongue that you can, lick stuff with A. So you can eat stuff, and if you press R to crouch, it will turn into an egg. And so one thing you can do with that, that's used in like Yoshi Hundreds and Reds, is you can egg combo. And so basically, however many coins the object had, whatever you hit with it, the coins that object would drops on every other item you hit. Now, you can not press R, but if you hold the item for too long, it will automatically transform into an egg. Now, next up, you can grab items like coins with his tongue. You can even grab stars with his tongue. So that's also used in the Yoshi hundreds with Red Sprout to grab this red coin here that has killed many a run. I don't like that red coin. But overall, Yoshi's tongue is somewhat useful. I mean, it's not used the most, but it's still used more as like a backup. Like if you like barely miss something, you can just like turn around and tongue it, I guess. So it's not the most useful, but it can come in handy sometimes. Now, probably the biggest movement that's character specific, quote unquote character specific. You can do this with Mario, Luigi, and Wario. So instead of diving, what you can do is when you have characters that have an actual hat on, the A button can, punch, you can kick, and then another important form of movement is the dive. So these all get you different places really fast. Now, Mario is obviously the best character because of the wall kick. Because the wall kick does all sorts of cool stuff, and everyone likes the wall kick, and it's like the best move in the game, so who wouldn't want the wall kick? So, being good at wall kicks is definitely something you need to be good at. Mario is the main character used in every run, I believe. Maybe 80-star Luigi routes have a bit of Luigi, but I'm pretty sure you use Mario more. So he is your character to practice with if you're not going to practice any other character. So after that, there is Luigi. Actually, screw that. Next up is Wario. Now, in my notes, I literally have trash talk Wario because Wario sucks. He jumps slower. Really, the only thing he does better is he kills enemies faster, which you can usually one hit, and he takes down these posts in one move. Yay, that makes him sound so good. Oh, and he can break black boxes, which makes him, like, required for some stars, but, yeah. In reality, no one likes Wario. He is the worst character in the game, and it was really just a bad idea to include him in general. So now I have to find this Luigi hat. Oh, there it is. So Luigi has two things. Now what he's most known for is his famous Luigi backflip, which I can really only think of one point in the entire 150 run you use it in, and that's Chief Chili. But other than that, he has some nice airtime as shown by sideflips. And then he flutters after like his single jumps and double jumps. So combined with a dive, this can give you quite a bit of distance. But really the most important thing with Luigi is if you find a body of water, like in JOB, you can run across that body of water for a short amount of time before actually falling into the water. And so that's used in some levels like JOB and Wet Dry World. And then last but not least is wing cap movement. So wing cap is pretty basic. It doesn't take too long to get good at, but stages like wing cap reds can still mess some players up with like early coins. But basically with wing cap, if you hold nothing, he goes in a generally straight line a little bit down, and then he'll start to come back up. So what happens is when you hold up, you go down. When you hold down, you go up. And then left is left and right is right. So it's inversely related on the vertical axis, but it is directly related on the horizontal axis. So wing cap, there's nothing too special about it. I mean, if you press 3 B buttons like regularly, you actually do a triple jump, which isn't really useful at all. I guess if you're trying to get good at jumping on a signpost, that could be useful, but you can already just go to the left and do a triple jump, so I don't know. But yeah, that's about it. So if you have any questions, post them in the comments. Another thing is to join the Super Mario 64DS speedrunning Discord server. You will get responses a lot faster there, and from some people who are more experienced than myself. Thank you all, and goodbye. I guess I don't have an outro either. Should probably fix that.